This is a massive show. Buckle up. I've got two NFL players on the show today. We are talking top 10 fantasy football sleepers for 2025. And the two of them that are on this list are actually on this show. So I'm excited to dive in the top 10 fantasy football sleepers that I love. I've got the list right here, ready to dive in. If you are new to the channel, fantasy football is back. Smash it, tap it, slap it. It's the only channel telling you the truth, having NFL athletes interviewed on the show, and actual advice that's going to help you win. If you also want NFL breaking news every single morning, Monday through Friday, this is the place. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the bell. I'm also doing shorts. I'm doing reels, whatever you want to call it. It's all here. All right, subscribe. All right, I'm super excited about today's show. Top 10 sleepers, hit the thumbs up. Just takes a fraction of a second. And if you've not secured the 16-round draft solution, now is the time. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players drafted in each round. Everything you need to crush your leagues. I've linked it below. Grab it, guys. 16 rounds. Use code WIN to save. I'm telling you, your sheep in your league will not know what hit them. You'll be like light years ahead of everybody in your league. Grab 16 rounds. I'm handing you the win on a silver platter. Grab the solution and secure the championship. Very simple. I've also got the Frontlines community below. If you want direct access to me, I just opened up a chat there, and I'm going to be answering questions direct. The only place to get direct access in the Frontlines, I've linked that below as well. If you want a coaching call, that's also below. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to go through these sleepers here for you. And as I get to the players that are on the show, we'll just roll the clip with me interviewing them, okay? One of them, you've already seen the interview if you've watched the show regularly. If you haven't, I wanted to put it on the show because sleeper shows are highly viewed, and I know there'll be a lot of new people to it. So I wanted to put that interview with the one player, and then I've got a brand new interview I just interviewed a couple days ago. One was like a week ago, one was a couple days ago. The other players on the show, I'm excited to dive in. It's super exciting. So let's just get right to it. We're going to start off with, and everybody's here today. We got players on the show. We've got, of course, my favorite person of all time, Breaking Brad, leading us into the news. What's going on, Breaking Brad?
We now have breaking news.
Here we go.
We now have breaking news.
Oh, that's music to my ears. When Breaking Brad talks, I get excited. Now, there isn't too much in the news in regards to like something's going to blow you away or like something's going to throw you off your chair because it's not, training camp hasn't started yet. So I'm trying to dig deep and get you guys some relevant information. It's going to be fantasy impact related here in the offseason. But as soon as training camp starts and the season starts, this is the place you want to be plugged in because I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single morning, okay? But there is a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, not that important. And again, it's fluffy news. Like Houston Texans wide receiver Christian Kirk looked like a safety blanket for QB CJ Stroud during minicamp, according to writers. Like, are they trying to still feed us the same garbage? Like, Christian Kirk sucks. Like, years to wow us, we're not wowed. You guys had this guy ranked ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. last year. Are you nuts? And they're still trying to feed you the same BS. Draft Christian Kirk, he's so good. Yeah, I mean, somebody commented, I think it was in my social media, they said something along the line of like, he looks great in practice, but in the game, he can't get free to catch a ball. Like, he just sucks, man. He cannot create enough separation or just sucks, okay? A couple other things I want to talk about here. Travis Hunter was a few days ago. We'll see reps at wide receiver and cornerback during the same padded practice at training camp, according to Chief Football Strategy Officer Tony Khan, whatever your name is, Khan, who made a recent appearance on some show I don't even like. During spring practice, Hunter has worked exclusively on one side of the ball at any given day. So he's going to be working both sides of the ball. We kind of know this. I talked about this earlier. Like, he's got the cardio to do both. Like, but my question is, if he's playing defense, I just don't want him to get tired, if I have him as a wide receiver. Like, it's just, I don't know what's going on. I tend to not have a lot of Travis Hunter stock. I got him in a best ball league, and that's pretty much it. Like, I don't have him in my high stakes league. I definitely see the talent and upside, but with him and Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball, is there going to be enough volume to go around with them, the tight ends, the running backs? I'm just not really convinced them being top 10 guys. Maybe one of them, who knows, okay? Good news about Tatoria McMillan. It says, quote, natural ability to understand the game has really stuck to me, according to teammate Adam Thielen. So Adam Thielen says he's basically talking McMillan up. Mentally, his natural ability to understand the game. I haven't been around too many guys that it just comes so easily to them this early on. The playbook, the intricacies, the game within the game that has really stuck out to me. So basically just Adam Thielen, the guy who's over the hill talking about his rookie. And listen, I like McMillan. I think the talent is outstanding based on what we saw at college. My question and my concern really comes down to how much volume is he going to see? Is Leggett going to completely take a back seat? That's something I ask myself when I'm looking at him, especially when you're drafting a guy like McMillan Hunter. They're coming off rounds 4 and 5. I think there's a bunch of other wide receivers. I know there's a bunch of wide receivers, a couple of them on the show that are better value that you can get later on, okay? So I just wanted to mention that as well. Anything else here in the news? Joe Burrow. Some Joe Burrow news that kind of stuck out to me, especially if you guys are looking to draft Jamar Chase. Bit of a concern. Cincinnati Bengals QB Joe Burrow said during the club's mandatory minicamp last month that he hasn't fully recovered from season-ending injury performed on his right wrist in November 2023. In 2024. I still wasn't quite back to throwing in that way that I expect, he said. It's improved this year and it will continue to improve as long as I keep making those reps. Taking the extra time to get the rhythm back, it will continue to improve. So is that ever going to bother him or come up? I don't know. I have an issue trusting Burrow through his injuries in the past. I'm not really a Joe Burrow advocate. High draft capital type guy, doesn't have the rushing upside. I just have a couple question marks. So just be cautious with him this season. And Jamar Chase at the 1.01 is pretty much where he's coming off. 1.02, 1.03. Jamar Chase at risk if something were to happen. Burrow, he would definitely take a hit. So would T. Higgins, who's a waste of a pick anyway at the end of round 2, okay? And then one more thing, I posted it a couple days ago on my Instagram. Tyrone Tracy, who just finished his rookie campaign with 5 fumbles, has been working on holding on to the football. Listen to this. He purchased a grip strengthener this offseason that he uses every night, and he feels it has made a difference.
We now have breaking news.
Oh, man. Even Brad has a comment about that one. He plays with, he uses the grip strengthener every single night just to strengthen his grip. I don't even want to know. It's just too much information. I hope you guys get the joke here, okay? Tyrone Tracy working on his grip strength every night, and it seems to be working. Hopefully, if you draft him, that he's holding on to his balls. The ball this year, okay? All right, so that's it for breaking news with Break and Brad. That is it. I like that theme song. Break and Brad chose that. Okay, so let's get to these sleepers here without further ado. Again, if you are new to the channel, hit the thumbs up, smash it, tap it, slap it, and get that 16-round draft solution. Secure the solution, secure the championship. I'm telling you, you will never look back at rankings. Grab 16 rounds. So we got a long episode, so let's just get right to it here. Number 1 sleeper that I absolutely love is Keon Coleman. Why do I love Keon Coleman? Well, listen, he came out of this draft completely untouched. He is the man. He is the one. Khalil Shakira is not the one. I'm telling you now, Keon couldn't get into a groove with Josh Allen last year. I don't know what it was. It's just he couldn't find the rhythm. He was a little bit raw. Now he's got a full year under his belt. He's got the rapport there. He's put on some weight, put on some speed. I've been watching some training footage of Keon Coleman. He looks sharp, to say the least. His hands look solid. His feet look amazing. He looks really, really good. How that's going to translate on the field during actual play is yet to be seen. Now, this guy, only 29 receptions on 59 targets, 4 touchdowns, 536 yards. That's not bad for the limited amount of volume, only playing 13 games. The 29 receptions, he did a lot with that. Again, 556 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think Shakira had like 4 touchdowns. He had a little more volume, obviously. And so Keon Coleman, with the little amount he had, he got a lot done. Now, look at the value you're getting him, okay? You're getting him at round 10 ADP. Josh Allen did not throw as much as he typically does last year. I don't know what was going on. James Cook was a beneficiary of that. That's definitely going to change. They got to utilize a wide receiver 1 if they want to win, and Keon is primed. I can get this guy round 9 to 10, amazing draft steal, and I am getting a wide receiver 1 to one of, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, where there is no alpha wide receiver there. I am all over him again in year 2, and the value stays there. Wide receiver 55, round 10 to 11, absolutely amazing. Keon Coleman, grab him, especially in best ball where you're grabbing Josh Allen early. You can stack yourself a Keon Coleman, and you guys are going to be off to the races with a phenomenal stack. You're going to have some huge weeks. The Keon Coleman, Josh Allen stack, secure that, okay? Number 2 here, sleeper number 2. And again, we're going to get those interviews as we get to the player that we're going to talk about. Number 2 here is Caleb Johnson. Now, Caleb Johnson is a rookie, obviously. So rookies tend to have amazing sleeper value. They are in great value proposition form. Okay, I don't even know what the word to say is. 81 overall, round 6 ADP for a running back 1 with 0 competition. You cannot sell me the fact that Warren is going to be a 1. Warren could not pass crappy 3.9 yard per carry Najee Harris. He couldn't surpass. He was limited to 120 attempts, whereas Najee had 260 and had bad play. Let me tell you guys this. This is the honest truth. Najee sucks. I don't know what to tell you. He's not good. He lacks vision. He runs in the piles. He's got no breakaway speed. He is lackluster to say the least. He'll run hard a couple times just to kind of show himself off. He did that near the end of the season, just to kind of show himself off to get traded. And sure enough, it got him off the Steelers. But Caleb Johnson comes in as the top running back prospect. Great vision, great hands, natural lean forward ability to break tackles. He looks good, man. He looked good in college. I am all in on a running back 1 who is going to get a minimum of 280 rushing attempts. I am all in. Sign me up. I've got Caleb Johnson everywhere this year. Absolutely love him. Now, some people say, well, how about him and Harvey? I'll get to that later. Who do I like more? I'll get to that later, okay? Let's get to sleeper number 3. We are rolling through. Again, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't leave without subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, okay? The next guy here is Trey Benson. Why do I love this guy? Listen, first and foremost, immense value. Value for me is massive when I'm looking at a running back. Now, there isn't too many later running back sleepers that I actually like this year. There's a couple guys that could break out. A Woody Marks, if there's an injury to the running back core there, on his team with the Texans, or, there is a couple guys that could break out. Tootin, maybe a Jaden Blue on the Cowboys, but there's got to be like an injury to a Javonte, or there's a couple of hidden gems there. But the guy that kind of jumps out at me in the later rounds, and this ADP is round 12, but it typically comes off a little bit early. Let's say round 10 to 12. But if you look at the consensus rankings, the way that it sits, he's round 12, right? In a 12-person league. So when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at Trey Benson, who was drafted in the 3rd round last year, who was struggling a little bit behind the line, but near the end of the season, he was doing pretty good. I mean, week 14, 7.5 yards per carry. The week before that, 6.7. Week 10, 6.2. He was getting a lot of yards per carry for the limited amount of volume that he had, right? Now, I'm looking at a guy who's 147 overall, a guy that's in a committee where James Conner is on literally borrowed time. The fact that he didn't get hurt last year is a miracle in its own right. I'm not sold on Conner being a good running back. If they want to win, they got to play the best running back, the guy with the upside and talent, which is Trey Benson, the young, hungry guy who led the league in the college in broken tackles as a rookie, right? This guy is really, really good, and you can get him as a value after the 10th round. Immense value. I'm telling you, he's taking that job. If you're thinking of drafting, and this is what the sheep are doing, they're going 0 RB and making James Conner their 1. It's absolutely comical, and I'm laughing and I'm enjoying it. It's hilarious. So let them have James Conner. They can have James Conner all they want, but I'm telling you, Trey Benson is going to take that job this year. You should have took it last year. James Conner's on borrowed time. I love Trey Benson. Coming in at number 4, here's another sleeper for you. Wide receiver 35, who's the wide receiver 1 on his team, is Calvin Ridley. Now, the reason he's a discount, it's very simple. again, it's the mainstream fantasy consensus, these rankings that come out, the ADPs, where they're sleeping on quarterbacks that are rookies, or in general, rookies in general are a value. We just talked about Caleb Johnson, right? This is a steal. You're getting a wide receiver 1 literally in round 6, okay? Wide receiver 35, but he's a wide receiver 1 on his team. Now, there's a chance that Alik Ayamanor or one of these other guys, Restepro, the guy that he played in college with, could step up and become the one, but it's very hard to surpass a guy who's been in the league a long time, who's a great player in Calvin Ridley, who's got that veteran experience. He's still young. And he's got the attitude. He's the kind of guy who's like, throw me the ball, right? He's going to take that. He's the wide receiver 1. And Cam Ward is going to use him. Like, he's going to lean on him. He's going to lean on the experience. Now, Ridley finished 28th with 120 targets last year. That's still more targets than a guy like T. Higgins in round 2. So I'm looking at Calvin Ridley and I'm saying to myself, I get a wide receiver 1 to a rookie quarterback with upside in Cam Ward, and I get him round 6 when people are spending round 2 picks on a T. Higgins. I'm going to keep picking on the T. Higgins button there. I'm going to keep pushing that button because I don't like T. Higgins. I really don't. So to me, Calvin Ridley is a great sleeper and great value. Make sure you consider him this year, all right? Moving on here. Let's go to number 5, and it's a tight end. Some people keep asking me, Joe, which tight end should I grab this year? Who's the next Sam Laporta? Now, I'm not getting the Sam Laporta vibes just initially off the bat when I look at Tyler Warren, but I got a lot of stock in him, okay? Tyler Warren, 127 overall, around 9 to 10 ADP. Now, understand if you want him, he is coming off a little bit earlier than that. If you want him, you might want to start looking at him on the 7-8 turn. I've done a lot of best ball drafts, a lot of mock drafts. People will get this guy because there's no true wide receiver 1 in Indy. I'm not sold on Pittman. I'm not sold on Downs. I'm avoiding all of those guys. If Daniel Jones starts, this could be really special because Tyler Warren is a pass catching tight end. He could block. He could he could catch the ball. They did an interview with him months ago. They were saying something along the line of he was saying something along the line of hey man, I don't mind blocking a whole game, but there's going to be games where I'm going to catch the ball a lot, get multiple touchdowns. I'm butchering the quote, okay? So don't hold me to that. But it's something along the line of he's willing to do anything for the team to win, which is what everybody says, which is a bunch of BS. But he's going to have some big games. Now, I love him in best ball, how he's going to be consistently every single week. I don't care because I'm stacking a bunch of rookie tight ends. And if you want to know who they are, grab the 16-round draft solution. I'm telling you, 2 of them are going to hit at least. Okay. So with tight end, I tend to wait on tight end. You're not guaranteed anything. You can go draft Brock Bowers round 2, but he's probably going to bust. Why? Because they've got a different offense this year. And I liked Brock Bowers last year at round 10 or whatever he was coming off. I don't like him in round 2 or 1. Okay. So Tyler Warren is great value. I'd rather have him than Brock Bowers any day based on the value and upside. Okay. So let's move on here. Now, let's get to this sleeper here. And he's actually on the show. And then the last one, you got to stay to the end because the last one is the new interview. It's going to be exciting, okay? So let's get to this one here. Number 6 is Dante Thornton. We're going to roll to the interview. Now, if you are a regular to the show, I had him on the show about a week ago. I aired the episode. I kind of cleaned up the audio. It was a little echoey. So guys, don't mind the echo here. I just was having some technical issues on both interviews, actually, believe it or not. They actually don't sound bad, but there's a bit of echo. So I love this guy. We're going to roll the interview. And I'm telling you, man, he's got wide receiver 1 upside. He's playing with first team. Dante Thornton on the show. Let's go to it. All right, we are talking deep sleepers, and I've got one of my favorite sleepers, and he won't be a sleeper after you see what he does on the field this season. The great, the powerful, soon to be a top fantasy prospect and NFL player. I know I'm building you up here, man, so you got to live up to expectations. But Dante Thornton, welcome to the show, man. I'm excited to have you on.
Man, I appreciate it, definitely.
Man, this is so exciting. I'm just going to talk a little bit, give a brief intro, and you can cut me off if I'm wrong here. Mm-hmm. But this is what I've got here. I got 6'5", 214. What are you walking around at right now?
I'm like 209.
209, okay.
I'm trying to get up to like 215.
Okay, yeah, the reports are crazy. It's like 205, 215, whatever. It mixes it up. So I wanted to get the accurate weight
Yeah.
there. 4.3 speed out of Tennessee. Explosive, soft hands. Soft. Are they really that soft when they talk about? Is it like you moisturize, right?
Nah, they not moisturized.
Soft hands. You get all these amazing scouting reviews, and then we'll talk a little bit about the negative scouting reviews. Listen, I don't believe anything about scouting reviews, but I want to introduce you to the show. I'll let you talk a little bit. Can you tell the fantasy world a little bit about yourself? Maybe a little backstory, how you got to the NFL, maybe just to give us some context. I'll let you talk.
Honestly, I've been playing football since I was 4 years old. uh, I started off playing quarterback. I played quarterback until I was in the sixth grade. Then I got to a team that already had a quarterback, so I switched to receiver. Then I said through high school, I was one of the top receivers in Maryland. I had around like 37 offers from all Division I schools. And then I committed to Penn State my sophomore year of high school. Oregon was my dream school. They ended up offering me after I committed. So I flipped, went to Oregon for 2 years. Things ain't really going how I wanted them to go in terms of like how things were on the field. So I was like, I was going to take a chance, enter the portal, bet on myself. Then I get to Tennessee. And I had not so good season my first year there. Then I had one of my best seasons of my career my last year. And then that's what helped get me in the position now. Plus the combine.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about you. 4.3 speed. Had you achieved that speed before combine? Like, are you working on the sprints? Is that something you focus on? Like, I got to get the speed, or like, is that something you just naturally have, or is that something you really worked for to get that type of speed?
I said a combination of both. Like I'm naturally fast. Like when I was in the 11th grade, I ran a 4.33.
Wow.
I mean, not 4.3, 4.43. My bad. And then the fastest I ran up until the combine, like when I was training, was 4.4 flat. So running the 4.3 flat was crazy to me.
Yeah, man, that's very impressive here. So I want to talk a little bit about the critics here. First of all, it means nothing, and I know it's not getting it to you at all. Just to give you some context to everybody who's listening, some late round wide receivers. You're a 4th round pick, which is pretty impressive. But I don't think that means anything. Antonio Brown in 2010 was a 6th round pick, just to give you some motivation here. Puka Nacua was a round 5 pick. Stephon Diggs, round 5. Tyreek, 5. Edelman, 7. Donald Driver, he's from 99. I don't know if you remember that, but round 7. Pierre Garçon, round 6. And it goes on. Adam Thielen, Wes Welker, all undrafted. So it really means nothing, honestly. And this is why I hate fantasy rankings. Fantasy rankings currently, do you know where you're ranked in fantasy? Are you familiar with the fantasy world at all? And do you know where you're ranked? Do you know where you're ranked right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is why rankings don't work. And this is why I do something different. I don't go based off rankings. I go based off talent. So if I see a guy, regardless of his draft talent, like where he's being ranked in fantasy, I still say, make sure you get this guy on your roster. You're one of those guys. To put it in context, Nico Collins was like ranked wide receiver like 90 a couple of years ago. I'm like, dude, get Nico, get Tank Dell on your teams. That's how shallow and pathetic the fantasy rankings are. But you're currently ranked 118th right now, 118. That's just amongst wide receivers. You are ranked 339th amongst all other players in fantasy. That's how rankings don't work. But I believe you're going to finish near the top. And that's where I'm kind of probe in and to see how you're kind of feeling this year and kind of reassure my senses here. But because I'm excited for you, man. I like the landing spot as well. How do you feel so far? Do you like the landing spot? And how has your chemistry been with Geno Smith?
No, I feel great. I love it here. Like they're the team that took a chance on me, so I'm gonna give my all every opportunity I get. Gino, great guy. That's my dog. He like my big brother now. And I said we got a great connection. Like, of course, we still like learning how to play the game with each other and stuff like that. But we definitely have a great connection.
I'm excited, man. And a lot of people are excited about Ashton Genty over there. He is like a fantasy stud. He's coming off in the 1st round, just to give you some context. He's like, and again, that's based on like the draft capital, very high draft capital team. People assume like he's going to do well. I hope he does. I'm a fan. I'm invested in him as well in fantasy. I just wanted to get your mindset going into it's your rookie season. Are you out to prove something? Is there a chip on your shoulder? Are you just kind of, has anyone gotten in your head? Is there a chip, or is it more just you're going to do your thing?
I never say it's both, like a chip and just me doing the thing that I've been doing my whole life. But yeah, I just want to win. Like
That's
whatever,
it.
whatever come with that, that's what it's going to be.
I like the team. It's a huge revamp from last year. Tons of talent, and the Raiders is a team that I will be watching. I was supposed to get a Raiders hat. I ordered it on Amazon. It got lost in shipment, so it didn't make this
Damn,
episode.
that's
So I will
crazy.
be getting a Raiders hat because I have a lot of Raiders fantasy investment here. Let's keep it fun and light here. I wanted to ask you pregame. Is there what's in your headphones? What do you listen to pregame? Anything interesting?
I'll be meditating.
Okay.
Yeah, I meditate a lot pregame. Then I listen to a bunch of crazy music, like a
Okay.
bunch of music gonna get me riled up before I go on the field.
So a lot of visualization, right?
Hmm.
I know a lot of top athletes and the greats have always visualized in the past. Is there any athlete, like particularly wide receiver, that you number one compare yourself to, if you even want to do that, and number two that you basically grew up saying, "Man, that guy was great. I'd aspire to be similar to that wide receiver."
Yeah, Calvin Johnson.
Oh, for sure, Megatron.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then Julio Jones.
Yeah, man, great talent. Both those guys, both fantasy studs as well. I don't know if you can answer this in regards to strategy, but earlier on, where do you see yourself playing? Do you see yourself? Are they going to put you outside, slot, more of a red zone target, or kind of all around? Do you have any feedback on that, or are you just going kind of doing your thing right now and figuring it out?
I said I'm definitely just figuring out, but I'd say outside receiver.
Yeah, man. I heard your first team. You're getting first team reps right now, from what I hear too, as well. There's tons of reports on that. It's public.
Hmm. Yeah, I got a few of those.
That's great, man.
Some-
A couple other things I want to talk about here. Uh, what do you do for fun? I just kind of want to get a feel for your hobby. Like, I know football is the focus, but we see a
Yeah,
lot of athletes doing nightclub stuff, or we see them going to church and stuff. What are some hobbies that you enjoy outside off the field?
uh, gaming. Like I play the game and I stream, and then I like bowling.
Bowling?
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm surprised. A lot of people like bowling. I had a couple other players. I can't remember who it was last year that likes bowling as well. Also, I want to go over these. Just we could talk a little bit about the haters for motivation here. I just want to go over some of the scouting reports that are negative. Like it's crazy when they have nothing negative to say about people. And I saw you in another interview with the same thing. He says they go like this when they think of something negative. They say limited route tree remains significantly underdeveloped. Or I like this one. Separation consistency varies wildly from game to game and can completely vanish for long stretches. Like they always like nitpick little stuff. And then this one here lacks creativity and explosive lateral agility. Tends to, and it just goes on. Like it's just ridiculous things. Like, well, maybe you've done it once and they just pound on something just to get a write up. And this is right off the site called NFL Draft Buzz, where they break down all these. I don't know who the actual scout is, but what do you got to say to the haters that are just out there nitpicking at you?
I don't care about them. Like, they ain't gonna stop me from getting paid and doing what I'm doing in the field. So
Exactly.
they can say what they want. That's fine. Get their little clicks and stuff like that.
Okay, so I asked Kyron Williams this last year for the fantasy people. What do you say to the fantasy folks out? Because there's a lot of us. Just to let you know, I know a lot of people like we don't care about fantasy and that, but I want to explain this to you just because you're gonna probably get a lot once. Because Kyron Williams went literally undrafted to like being a fantasy god, right? So you might get a lot of like, oh, you didn't perform for me this week, you didn't do well for me this week. It's gonna be a lot of that. Just a heads up. But the fantasy points are directly proportional to your success. So when you do well on the field, they rise together, right? The ships rise with, you do well, fantasy does well, everybody does well. Is there anything you want to say to people that want to consider drafting you later in drafts? Like how confident, where's the confidence level, Dante?
I'm very confident in it. Like if you take a chance on it, it might work out for you.
You
So
well, let's put it this way. Your playing ability is like you're humble compared to the way you play. That's for sure. I think you guys should go watch some highlight reels, honestly.
yeah, I'm very humble.
That's
But
what I
yeah,
like.
I think if you have the opportunity to take my player, why not do it? You know, I like
Yeah.
that from that. But on the flip side, I'm sorry if it don't go as planned for you.
Yeah, you got to have
But
the, you got the,
I'm very confident though.
that's what I like, man. You definitely have to have the confidence there. So, man, I'm excited, and I hope to get you on. Listen, don't forget about us once you take off, become a top fantasy. We got to get you back on. This was kind of a
Oh yeah,
pre-interview, to get a sense. And I'm telling everybody, go draft this guy. He's literally going undrafted. It's ridiculous, and that's how shallow the fantasy. We're shallow. We just look, but I'm able to dig deep and find the hidden gems, the guys that are going to break out in great opportunities. And I truly believe you're in an amazing situation.
yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
Definitely. Is there anything else you'd like to add in regards to like anything else we don't know about you or anything else you want to add going into the season?
Nah, man. I play ball. I like to play the game. I just want to win. That's it.
I think you're just gonna let the talent do the talking. Let's
Oh
put it that
yeah,
way.
yeah. I ain't really too much of a talker.
Yeah,
So y'all gonna see when y'all see it.
exactly.
One thing I will say is just the people that pick the side that they're on, stay on that side.
You mean like if they pick you like as a player, like if they're on your train now, basically?
Yeah, if they like me now, it's good. If you don't, stay on that same side when things start to change.
Dude, I'm all over the train. I'm all over the train. I want to go on record, and I've been ripped. Like last year, I'll give you a quick example. I was all on the Keon Coleman train. It's just that he got hurt. He just didn't get the volume that he should have. But I think this year he's going to tear it up. I mean, him and Allen should be connecting there. But like, so people are ripping me like, oh, you told me Keon Coleman. I'm like, dude, I was getting him in the 9th round. It's good for fantasy, right? For you right now, you're immense value. Like I have to have you on my roster. Like it's without a question. And in fact, I did my draft back in May before there was news about you being on first team. I was like, I saw the talent before. So I'm way before and that's just my style. People just draft and give advice based on rankings. I give advice based on opportunity and talent. And I believe you've got it. And I'm not just here just tooting your horn because like you're on the show. Like I tell people straight up,
Yeah.
if a player doesn't do well, I tell them, and that's what I'm kind of known for. So yeah, it's just, positive motivation. That's all.
Definitely.
Well, Dante, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Deep sleeper, tons of talent, Raiders Nation. Dude, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Genty. I'm excited for Geno Smith. I'm just excited for football to start, really.
Man.
When's training camp? That's like around the corner, isn't it? Like first
Yeah,
week?
a couple weeks.
All right, man. I'm wishing you the best. You're young, you're talented, and stay healthy. And I'm genuinely wishing you the best, man.
I definitely appreciate you a lot.
All right. Thank you for coming on the show. Dante Thornton, everybody. There you have it. Super nice guy. Secure him, stash him at the end of your drafts. I'm telling you, there's a ton of upside. As you can tell, super nice guy. You want to secure Dante Thornton on your rosters. Again, agility, ability, great hands, speed, 4.3 speed, immense value, first team reps. I'm telling you, there's something here, and they don't have a true one in Jacoby Myers. I'm telling you that right now. Thornton, make sure you secure him. Moving on to number 7 here, you guys listen to the channel regularly. You know I love Trey Harris. I don't want to spend too much time on this other than to tell you great value, X receiver, true wide receiver one potential. I don't hear any. I'm listening to other shows a little bit because my YouTube feed, because I'm in fantasy football. So as I'm going through my feed, other YouTubers come up. So I click on a couple. I know it's all BS. Everyone's just talking Lad McConkey round 2 must draft. Where were you guys last year when I was telling everybody in 16-round draft solution on this channel, don't be a donkey, draft Lad McConkey? Now you're riding McConkey. We're off that train and we're on the Trey Harris train now. 6'3", 210, phenomenal hands, 4.5 speed, could be a little faster, but that's okay. Very physical monster, red zone target, reliable hands. He is everything that Quentin Johnson is. They wanted Quentin Johnson to be. Quentin Johnson is not. This guy comes in and he's going to be on the field a lot. I'm telling you, Justin Herbert and this guy are going to be connecting. I really believe Lad McConkey owners are going to be pissed this year, okay? And they got another guy, Rondé Gaddiston, right, at a tight end. I'm telling you, man, it's a different offense. And you got Omarion Hampton for checkdowns. You got Najee Harris. It's a different offense. It's not just Lad McConkey this year. Lad McConkey is going to take a hard hit in volume. And people continue to tell you Lad McConkey round 2, Lad McConkey round 2. That's going to be the biggest mistake people are going to make in round 2, next to T. Higgins round 2. As long as Jamar stays healthy, barring any injury, the way that it sits right now, you are in trouble if you're wasting a pick on T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey, because Trey Harris the real deal. And wait till you see when he hits the field in training camp and more reports come up. His ADP is going to be rising. Trey Harris, another sleeper, right? Number 8 here is Cam Ward going to that Calvin Ridley. And this situation here with the Titans, okay, just reminds me of the year CJ Stroud broke out and everyone was sleeping on Nico Collins and Dell, and they were sleeping on Stroud. It's like, just because they're rookie and like, you just completely disregard them. Like Nico Collins was like wide receiver 70 that year. It was insane, dude. Like, I'm telling you, it's just because they're rookies, it's like everybody discounts the entire team so that everyone becomes a value just because it's crazy. Like Cam Ward, ultra elite passer, top prospect coming into college. For a guy who is a rookie, he was consistent in college. That's what you want. You want a guy, because that's one of the biggest fears when I draft a rookie quarterback. And I typically don't draft a rookie quarterback unless he's a backup with upside. Like I got Pat Mahomes, I think in his second year or something like that, the year he broke out, whenever it was. And I'm always good at like just getting him as a backup and then, they could take off. But you want accuracy. And he's a pretty accurate quarterback on paper. And they put a ton of great offensive weapons around him. So why wouldn't I grab him as a backup or as a QB3 in a super flex or a 2-quarterback league when it's a no-brainer to me, man. I'm just like, Cam Ward, wide receiver 27, literally going undrafted, accurate, upside, great offensive weapons. I mean, it makes sense to me to try to secure this guy whenever I can. He doesn't have the rushing upside of like a Jaden Daniels, something like that, but he's going to be efficient. He's got the weapons. Another thing I got to tell you about Cam Ward, amazing work ethic. The guy gets up at 5 a.m. He is on it. He is on it, man. I'm telling you, there's something special here about Cam Ward. Consider him as a backup. All right. Number 9 here. We're going to end this off. Again, we're going to end it off with an interview here. Is RJ Harvey. You're saying, well, Joey's not really a sleeper. Well, he is if he finishes as a top 10 running back because he's like RB 22. So he's out of the top 10. In fact, he's out of the top 20 according to the Sheep rankings. I mean, we got James Conner ahead of this guy. Are you kidding me? The guy's like 100 years old. Montgomery, who's a number 2. Why would you put Montgomery in the rankings ahead of RJ Harvey? It's crazy. Joe Mixon, who's in a major committee, who sucks. Hubbard, James Cook ahead of this guy who's contract disputes, who had coming off a pinnacle season. If you look at James Cook's numbers, his first 2 seasons, he had 2 touchdowns. Each of those seasons, 4 touchdowns in 2 seasons, right? He had one anomaly year and he thinks he's going to get paid. There's a reason they're not paying him, right? And you got all these bottom feeders sitting ahead of RJ Harvey, who the Broncos are looking for that workhorse guy. Quick, agile, amazing ability to shift. I'm telling you, there's something special here. Now, J.K. Dobbins, obviously a bit of a buzzkill, but I don't care because to me, on my teams, he's my RB3. So I've got a lot of Harvey stock, and I'm shamelessly saying I'm all in on him regardless. And we're gonna get to his the next guy here who's my sleeper, who's actually on his team, Pat Bryant. And I asked him straight up off the air, I'm like, how good does Harvey look? I'm like, want to tell me this? He's like, he looks really good, man. So, and that's maybe his teammates a bit biased, but I don't care. So RJ Harvey, draft him. There you go. And the last sleeper, let's just get right to it, is Pat Bryant. And he's on the show, everybody. Pat Bryant. Who is Pat Bryant, guys? I'll tell you who he is. If you don't know, Denver's rookie wide receiver, drafted in the 3rd round. And let's just get to the interview. Super nice guy, super confident, 200 pounds, around 6'3", 4.6 speed, dog mentality. His yards after catch are awesome. And he's got a real opportunity. I asked him as well, do you play with, well, why don't you listen to the interview? But he did end up playing with first team near the end of minicamp. So here he is, Pat Bryant on the show, and I'll check back with you guys as we wrap it up. Amazing, super nice guy. Let's get to Pat Bryant, Denver Broncos rookie wide receiver, major breakout potential. Let's get to it. We are continuing on with sleepers, and I just had to have one of my favorite sleepers on the show, and in reality could absolutely crush it. Welcome to the show, Pat Bryant from the Denver Broncos, man. Excited to have you.
Appreciate you for having me on.
I'm excited, man. Lot of questions to ask. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with draft day, man. How did it feel to get that call from the Denver Broncos, major franchise, exciting offense this year? How'd that feel?
It was amazing, man. Just knowing that my goal was to reach the NFL and having the opportunity to do that and coming to a great team like the Broncos that's on the rise, young quarterback, great coach. I couldn't actually be in a better situation.
Yeah, man. What have your biggest adjustments been so far? I know you haven't played an actual NFL game yet, but what are some adjustments you've made from college to NFL that you're feeling right off the bat? Like, does it feel like this is the real deal? Have you had your I'm in the NFL moment yet?
I'll probably say the first practice with the vets. I feel like the back end was a little similar. Guys are a little bit better, but I really feel like it's that front, man. That it's to the point where you're not even really racing DB. You kind of racing that D line because, especially in the NFL, a lot of those guys are freaks, like some of the
Right.
best athletes in the league. Other than that, man, I say the hardest part is probably the altitude out here in Denver. Other than that, it's been pretty smooth.
For sure. Now that actually works as an advantage, right? Because you train at that altitude. When you go somewhere else, it feels easier, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, so I actually that's why I chose to stay here to train during the off season so I could kind of get adjusted to it. But I actually went down to Miami for a few days, and you could actually feel the difference, especially being out there in that humidity. I never really got tired. It was a little hot, sweat a little bit, but you could definitely see the advantage of the altitude.
For sure. I would think that's a major advantage. Kind of like taking the weights off, having weights on your legs, and you take them off and you can run free.
Facts.
There's so many good things about you, man. I've been reading the scouting reports. Like, are you six? Like, I got two different heights and weights here. Are you 6'2" or 6'3"?
So I come on, they got me at 6'2" and some change.
Okay. And what are you walking around at right now?
205.
Okay. I got natural hands and I got smooth transition and routes. I got dog mentality. Okay. I want to talk about this dog mentality because I keep reading that. Is this more like your yards after a catch? And what is it that you're thinking after the catch? Are you out there just like, just to kind of like hack and slash through everybody when you get that ball? Like, what's the mentality when you get the ball and run after that, to increase your yards after catch? What's the mentality like?
I probably say like the dog mentality is all around, who I am, whether it's blocking and creating separation and yards after the catch. At the end of the day, I know my strengths. So I know I'm not the fastest guy, but I'm making a few guys miss. But at the end of the day, I want to keep that dog mentality. So somebody come to tackle me, I'm gonna make them feel it.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it always seems like I find that scouts and these beat writers, all these people, that they tend to pick at little things. Like, you ran a 4.6, but who cares? I mean, Cooper Kupp ran like a 4.62, and a lot of other guys that have succeeded in the NFL significantly have run 4.6s. So is that something that's kind of like a chip on your shoulder, people picking at you, like saying, "Oh, it's a 4.6 guy," blah, blah, blah. Like, or is that something you just kind of like brush off?
No, it is what it is. So a lot of it's crazy because they got the catapult numbers from the games and all that from what I play, so they can kind of dictate what I run. So a lot of coaches were telling my agent like, we feel like he gonna be high 4.5, high 4.6, somewhere in there. So at the end of the day, I went to the combine. I wasn't really worried about, oh, I hope I can run this. I was going there to compete, show who I was and put it on tape. So when it comes to the 40 time, I play ball. I don't really be worried about all that, honestly.
I love your landing spot because I genuinely feel you guys are contenders. But was there anything going on in the background that you may have ended up somewhere else? Was there any talk or chatter or you feeling that you might have ended up somewhere else? Or did you kind of know it was going to be Denver?
Honestly, I had no idea that it'd be different. I know it was the Jaguars, the Commanders, the Bucks. But bro, once I got the Broncos call, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because I knew I had crushed the interviews, had a great relationship with KC, my wide receiver coach. But they kind of honestly came out of nowhere. Once I got the call, I was surprised. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Right. I love Bo Nix for fantasy. I think he did great last year and he's going to emerge and continue to ascend up forward. How has your connection been and chemistry with Bo Nix now so far?
I mean, Bo's a great guy. Both of us are kind of young. He going into his sophomore year in the league. But we actually all took a trip to Idaho, kind of did a little team bonding with the receivers, tight ends, running backs. So we all got a lot closer. And at the end of the day, I feel like we really got something special. Like, you can kind of feel it, like, once you walk into the locker room.
How is that? Just to give us an inside look, when these quarterbacks take people out, I just heard that Aaron Rodgers took like Metcalf and all his receivers out to Malibu. Is this more of a chilling connection thing, or are you guys actually grinding and working?
Oh, nah.
No,
We
you're
was
working.
getting it in. Yeah, we was getting it in. We, working out in the morning. I had a little hour break. Then we'd go out, throw, run routes, then hop on the course, hop on the water. So it's kind of like a work slash vacation, but we definitely put the work first.
Okay, I've been reading reports and stuff, trying to stay on top of stuff. Were you getting first team reps at all in mini camp, like leading up to now you're going to training camp? Were you with first team at all?
Yeah, I was running. I had a few towards the end of camp. I had a lot of first team reps. Uh, Probably say like the last three practices, I was with the first team.
Okay, cool. I want to switch over to fantasy football real quick. First of all, your teammate Harvey, I'm really excited about him. How is he looking in camp, man? Like, is he as advertised? Because I've got a lot of stock in him in fantasy, but also I just think he looks like a phenomenal player. How does he look on the field?
Bro, he's crazy, bro. The way he like just make people miss is insane. Like, especially coming from a college level, like you may say it's a little bit easier, but you going against the vets, making the vets look crazy, shaking them, making them miss, and then his ability to catch the ball is crazy.
Yeah, I'm really excited about him. I'm excited about you as well. Are you familiar with fantasy football? Do you understand there's a massive, like 80 million plus people that play fantasy in North America? Are you familiar with it a little bit?
Nah, I actually never played fantasy football like
Okay.
ever.
Okay, you're gonna get noticed a lot. Like you're gonna get a lot of like hate probably and a lot of positivity. Cause let's say you have a bad week, people will be like, oh, you didn't perform on my fantasy team. I just want to give you a heads up that it's directly proportional to how you succeed. So if you do really well in fantasy, you do it well in reality. And some people say, oh, I hate your fantasy teams. Well, some people actually embrace it. I had Kyron Williams on the show. He embraces it. Austin Eckler for years embraced it. And just know that it's for your own, like when you do well in fantasy, you do well in reality. They kind of move up together, right? Just to give you some context. But I want to ask you as well. You're probably not even aware. You're actually ranked not on the consensus rankings. You're wide receiver 96 in fantasy. Do you know that?
That's crazy.
You got
I
some
can
work
kind of
to
see
do.
it. I can see that though. I'm a rook coming in. I got a lot to prove.
Well, to make you feel better here, but I'm not trying to bring it down here. It's actually a positive thing. That's why you're considered a sleeper in fantasy. Because again, it's kind of unknown. You don't know. But guys like Nico Collins were like 80 or 90, and then he broke out that year. There's so many receivers that I'm able to see the hidden gems. Like I just had Dante Thornton on the show, fourth round receiver, Raiders. Like the guy's a phenomenal talent, quick off the line. He's got that rare speed and size ability. And like I can see there's some upside there, right? So I feel the same way with you. I think there's a ton of upside, and I'm super excited. And I think Peyton was saying he's comparing you to Michael Thomas. How do you feel about that? And you're kind of your own man, right? Do you like being compared to other people, or like how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's a great comparison, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to be the best me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to create my own path, my own legacy. But having those comparisons from a great coach like that, he coached a great player like that. I just put all my faith in him.
Yeah. Is there any receivers that you looked up to? I think Thornton was saying that I grew up, I'm a little old, I'm a lot older than you, but I don't want to talk about age, but I like grew up with the Jerry Rices of the world. Is there any receivers that you like grew up with? Cause I think Thornton was saying it was Calvin, who is it? Calvin Johnson and Julio Jones. Was there any guys that you looked up to growing up?
Yeah, I probably say Megatron for sure. I always, enjoy watching Megatron and probably Julio as well. Just me always being on the kind of bigger side, playing wide receiver. That's kind of where I got that dog mentality from, watching Julio play, his ability to high point the ball, and then just, bully defenders.
So I just want to kind of know you got the dog mentality, but how is the thought process going in? I mean, I think every receiver comes into the NFL with the thought process, I'm going to be the best, be the best. What's your work ethic and mentality like? And what are your ultimate goals? Are you thinking like Justin Jefferson big? Like what's the mentality going into the season? And obviously you want the team to win. I kind of get all that stuff, but for you personally, what are some goals going into the season and into the NFL?
I mean, honestly, I would say, like you said, obvious help the team win, but really just come in and play my role and just have the ability, just to play every position, on the offense, wide receiver wise, and just shit, go out there and ball.
Cool. A couple more questions for you to wrap this up. If you weren't playing football, I'm making you think today, man. I didn't think you'd have these questions. If you weren't playing football today, what would you be doing? Is there another career? Would you want to be a lawyer? Would it be non-sports? Would it be tennis? Would it be another sport? What would you be doing if it wasn't football?
I probably follow in my my father's path. He's like a athletic director, so I'm huge on like giving back to the community, especially the community that I come from. So really, just anything that involves the community, the youth, sports, whether it's after school programs, whatever I can do, to help young kids reach their dreams. That's probably something I'll do other than playing football.
Yeah, and I don't want to go too deep, but just your upbringing and stuff. When did you start football? How was it? Like, who helped you? Who mentored you getting to this point? Because a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to get to the NFL. This is the pinnacle of all sports, really. Like, it's phenomenal what you've already accomplished to this point. Any mentors growing up? How was your upbringing? How did you get to where you got? And do you have the underdog story? Kind of quick background on your story.
So my pops was athletic director at a YMCA. I was like 3 or 4 years old, so I wasn't really old enough to play. So he kind of just threw me out there in the fire and see how I react. So he's really been my coach and my mentor all the way up to like high school. So he always, trained me on the weekends, trained me during the week. He always told me like you could be the best. Only person stopping you is you. So I always kind of kept that mentality. Never really been an underdog. I was always kind of the best receivers, in Jacksonville. And once I got to college, I kind of changed my mindset. It was like a restart. Same thing when you get to the league, you got to prove yourself. So at the end of the day, I'm just here to prove myself and be the best me.
Absolutely. One thing the fantasy, there's a lot of fans, man. It's going to hit thousands of people. I'm going to put this in the shorts and reels, Instagram. I'm going to blast this out there. For anyone thinking of drafting you later in rounds as a stash, because I got you in all my leagues and best ball and fantasy, you're there, man. What would you say to those fantasy fans thinking of drafting you? Should they draft you, Pat Bryant, for fantasy football 2025?
Hell yeah, draft me. You can stash me, keep me high, whatever you do. Go ahead and do it. I'm gonna make it work. So
I love the confidence, man. And Kyron Williams asked him that last year, and I'm like, should you draft you? He's like, is an elephant heavy? I'm like, absolutely. So and
I
he
like
went,
that.
and he went and crushed it last year. And I had other guys on the show. Martavis Bryant, I had on, years when I started this, he crushed it the year after. And then David Johnson and Kareem Hunt the year he broke out. So I'm hoping, like, I'm really good at picking out gems and talent and scouting out talent. So I think I do it better than beat writers. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just really good at this. And I have a good feeling about you, man. I just wanted to share that with you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
So thanks for coming on, man. Big time sleeper. Draft him in all your leagues. It was a pleasure having you. You answered the questions with confidence, and I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Man, am I excited about Pat Bryant there. I'm glad I was able to bring these guys on the show. Very blessed. I want to thank them for coming on the show. Love the upside, love the talent, love the personalities as well. Super nice guys. And it's nice to bring you guys the talent on the show. And you guys could put like a face to the name, because you just see these guys sometimes on the ADP or rankings. Like, who are these guys? And I'm really bringing that personality out for you guys so you guys enjoy and see these guys and, get to know them a little bit. So there you have it. Top 10 sleepers. Love Pat Bryant at the end. Stash him. Great value. I mean, you're getting this guy pretty much almost undrafted after the 12th round. Amazing stuff. And he's going to be there. There just really isn't a lot of competition with Mims and Vile, who's banged up mini camp. So it's like the opportunity's there. Sutton's a little bit older. It's going to be exciting. Now, the Broncos offense is going to be exciting to watch. Bo Nix, another guy I love this year. So I'll be watching a lot of Denver, watching that situation unfold. All right. So if you're new to the channel and you guys enjoyed this, hopefully you guys did. I'm bringing a lot of value to you guys, a lot of excitement. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, support the channel, and grab the 16-round draft solution right now. Do not draft without it. I appreciate you being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll talk soon. I am out.